It starts with a few flashes. Then the whole forest joins in. And after a few seconds, the lights go out. Suspense builds in the darkness. Are they coming back? Oh yes, these lightning bugs work in unison to splash the woods at Elkmont with synchronous waves of light and dark for a couple of hours.
Checking the levels of Photinus carolinus.
It's right there.
Lightning bug expert Lynn Faust introduced the world to these famous fireflies
What do you see?
and says this year's lights are not as bright as usual.
For the synchronous ones of the Smokies, I'm seeing lower numbers.
Faust says the 2017 crop of synchronous fireflies only produced around half as many of these glowing insects as you would see in a normal year.
We all really kept saying, well, it's at 30 or 40%, it's getting ready to get better. But it never really got beyond that.
Faust blames last year's extreme drought for hurting populations in Elkmont and species all across East Tennessee.
The drought, I think, has impacted this entire area. Everything was struggling with the lack of rain. They did not get enough to eat, and they possibly dried out. The ground was hard, they couldn't burrow in. It was so dry, that was hard on these moisture-loving critters.
Faust says Elkmont is normally the flagship location to watch the synchronous light show. But this year, other synchronous sites in the Smokies, also hit by the drought, have outshined Elkmont. She says that's because Elkmont's fireflies were dealt a double whammy. The extreme drought and demolition of cabins that ripped up the soil exactly when this species was making its way to the surface in April and May.
The timing couldn't have been worse. When the cabins were demolished was when the lightning bugs are at their most vulnerable. They're motionless, they can't move. And so by bringing machines, all the heavy foot traffic, earth moving at that point kills lots of them.
The soil is also especially sensitive because females and their eggs are usually close to the ground.
The demolition areas were heartbreaking in how few fireflies they had.
So this year the normal glow is dimmer. And suspense builds in this relative darkness. Are they coming back?
They do.
Yes. Faust says these beaconing beetles can bounce back in the coming years and bring another brilliant wave of bioluminescence to East Tennessee. And plus, even a year that's half full can still send your heart aglow.
I never get tired, though, of seeing the light show. Even when it's at 30 or 40%, it thrills me that each year it happens again.
In the Great Smoky Mountains, Jim Matheny, WBIR 10 News.